this week's discussion board, we are answering the question of what does it take for me to be an effective leader, or what does it take to be an effective leader in general, based on chapter 13. And basically throughout the chapter, they're discussing different types of leadership behaviors. And those four main ones is task-oriented behavior, relationship-oriented behavior, passive behavior, and transformational. Task-oriented leadership is more so like initiating the structure of the actual job itself and the duties over than like encountering personal relationships and stuff. It's more of just like task-oriented. Very goal-oriented mindset, and is just more concerned about the job at hand. While relationship-oriented leadership includes the consideration of just finding different ways to empower and incorporate servant leadership through ethical leadership. So it's more of like the individual employees. They focus more on that than like the task at hand. I'm sure they focus on the task at hand as well, but they're just like more centered around the relationship-oriented style. And the book went ahead and also described servant leadership as it's focusing on the increased service to others rather than ourselves. So basically it's like expressing the selfless attitude for leadership. They're serving their employees over their own personal interests, which can help employees feel more secure and kind of gain better trust with their people. Second part of this that I wanted to go over was, does the effectiveness of leadership depend on the situation? And the book kind of went through some different ideas of that, and I felt like the main consensus that they were going over is like, oh, based on the situation and how they react, like it's not like all textbook. If someone applies one style in a situation, they're not always going to use that style. They might use different styles during different situations. That's how I understood it. And I believe, yes, yeah, because you might have to use a more task-oriented for some issues or situations at hand to be an effective leader, and you might have to be more relationship-oriented in others. I don't think it's all just carbon copy and paste textbook things. So I think to be an effective leader, you have to be kind of well versed in all the leadership behaviors. You might gravitate towards one most of the time, but I think it would be good as to be an effective leader to be well versed or knowledgeable of all leadership behaviors, because then it can also help you understand other leaders and other people that you are leading alongside, and you can see how you can coordinate with that. Let's see, and transformational. I didn't really explain that one. The transformational behavior is more of motivating employees to pursue organizational goals above their own self-interests. So that's a big thing of the transformational one. So that was just me defining all the four behaviors. The textbook went into on their perspective on what does it take to be an effective leader. They said give some thought to whether you want a managerial or leadership role in your career, because it's not for everyone. And I do agree with this from personal experience. Some people like being in kind of minor leadership positions before like head managerial ones, because those are two very different jobs. You might have to do a lot more tough stuff in the managerial area. So it's good to consider whether you want to have ultimate responsibility over managerial things over just simple leadership, shift lead kind of jobs, because if you're in a managerial spot but you don't enjoy enforcing the things that you're enforcing or doing the things that you as a leader should be doing, then it's not for you, because you won't be effective if you don't do it well because you don't like it. So I do believe to be an effective leader, you have to really consider that. And if you truly have a heart for being in a higher position of leadership, then you will be more likely to be more effective because you're motivated to do your best in it. They also pointed out that experimenting with various leadership behaviors. This is kind of what I was talking about before, because this will help you understand the situation aspects of leadership as situations change, and you're not always going to lean on one singular behavioral style for all situations, because all situations are different and all people are different, and the people that you work with and you lead are all going to be different. They might respond to different behaviors during the given situation over others. And the last point that the book was pointing out was finding out how others assess your leadership skills, because if you're being more of a transformative model, I'm going to bed. The last point is finding out how others assess your leadership styles, because I believe this is important whenever leading others, because if the people that you're leading don't understand the reason why you're choosing the specific behavioral style to be able to lead them, they might not agree with it, or all those things in my perspective. So it's really important for you to, I guess, get feedback from others on how they feel whenever you use specific leadership styles to choose and select the ones that are most effective and the most respectful and the most beneficial towards your company.